ਸੋਰਠ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਦਪ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ, ਜੇ ਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਣੈ ਜੋ ਚੱਲੇ ਭਾਈ, ਵਿਛੜ ਚੋਟਾਂ ਖਾਵੈ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਦਪ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ, ਜੇ ਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਣੈ ਜੋ ਚੱਲੇ ਭਾਈ, ਵਿਛੜ ਚੋਟਾਂ ਖਾਵੈ। ਬਿਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਸੁਖ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਪਾਵੈ, ਭਾਈ ਫਿਰ ਪਛੋਤਾਵੈ। ਹਰ ਕੇ ਦਾਸ ਸੁਹੇਲੇ ਭਾਈ, ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਬਿਖ ਦੁਖ ਕਾਟੇ, ਆਪੇ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਈ ਰਹਾਉ। ਇਹੋ ਕੁਟੰਬ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਕੇ ਬੰਧਨ ਭਾਈ, ਭਰਮ ਭੁੱਲਾ ਸੰਸਾਰਾ। ਬਿਨ ਗੁਰ ਬੰਧਨ ਟੂਟਹਿ ਨਾਹੀ, ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰਾ। ਕਰਮ ਕਰਹਿ ਗੁਰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨਾ ਪਛਾਨ ਹੈ, ਮਰ ਜਨਮ ਹੈ ਵਾਰੋ ਵਾਰਾ। ਹਉ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਗ ਪਲਚ ਰਹਿਆ ਭਾਈ, ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕਿਸਹੀ ਕੇਰਾ। ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਮਹਿਲ ਪਾਇਨ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਨ, ਨਿਜ ਘਰ ਹੋਏ ਬਸੇਰਾ। ਐਥੈ ਬੂਝੈ ਸੋ ਆਪ ਪਛਾਣੈ, ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਹੈ ਤਿਸ ਕੇਰਾ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਦਾ ਦਿਆਲ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ, ਵਿਣ ਭਾਗਾ ਕਿਆ ਪਾਈਐ। ਏਕ ਨਦਰ ਕਰ ਵੇਖੇ ਸਭ ਉਪਰ, ਜਿਹਾ ਭਾਉ ਤੇਹਾ ਫਲ ਪਾਈਐ। ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਵਸੇ ਮਨ ਅੰਤਰ, ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਆਪ ਗਵਾਈਐ। ਏਕ ਨਦਰ ਕਰ ਵੇਖੈ ਸਭ ਉਪਰ, ਜਿਹਾ ਭਾਉ ਤੇਹਾ ਫਲ ਪਾਈਐ। ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਵਸੇ ਮਨ ਅੰਤਰ, ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਆਪ ਗਵਾਈਐ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's Hukamnama Sahib from Sachkhand Sri Harmandir Sahib starts on Ang 601 and then continues on to Ang 602, and it's by Guru Angad Dev Ji in Sorat Rag. Guru Amar Das Ji Paat Ji, they say to us today, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that Sikh, that Sikh of the Guru, that disciple, that one that follows the Guru's word. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that Sikh to me is my Sakha. Sakha, when we translate the word Sakha, Sakha means somebody that is true to me, meaning my true friend. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਦਪ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੰਦਪ means relative. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that Sikh is a relative to me. That Sikh is my true friend. Or the other way we can translate this is, we can translate so Sikh Sakha. So we can translate, instead of putting the small bisram after the Sikh, we put these two words together and say Sikh Sakha. They're saying that is a true Sikh. Which one? Guru Sahib Ji saying, Kende so Sikh Sakha bandap hai bhai, is then my relative. Guru Amar Das Ji saying, bhai is my brother, je only if, Guru Amar Das Ji say, only if je gur ke ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੈ. If that Sikh comes into, that is a true Sikh, Guru Angad Dev Ji says, that comes into the Guru's ਕੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ, in within the Guru's ਭਾਣਾ. ਭਾਣਾ, Sangat Ji, means that follows the Guru's will, meaning follows the Guru's instructions. Why is Guru Angad Dev Ji saying this? Because something like this, a phrase, a term like this can seem a little harsh for some of us, and it can come across a little harsh as well, and saying that, is there such a thing, somebody that's a true Sikh and somebody then, where do I fall in? what category do I fall in? We don't need to be the judge of that. We don't need to get into all of that entanglement and trying to work that out. But what Satguru is saying here is those that, then they go on to say, let's read the second line before we do any vichar on it. Then Satguru say to us, apane pane, but that Sikh, meaning but that person that follows their own will, meaning doing what they want and not what the Guru is asking them to do. Apane pane, jo challe bhai, it says, and actually walks upon the will of his own self and his own mind. Kende vichhad chota khave. They said what will happen is they will actually experience vichhad. Vichhad here means separation. We can translate this in two ways. Separating from the Guru, from the Guru's way. Chota khave. Chota means when we're actually struck. Chot means when you actually get hurt. So for example, if somebody gets punched in the face, that's called a chot. Unne chot mari ode in Punjabi vich kende ya. And then over here, chot can be translated then loosely to suffering. Those that separate from the Guru's way, they will actually, chotan khave, will end up suffering in their life. Then Satguru say to us, bin Satgur sukh kade na pave. Without that true Guru, we can never experience happiness, true happiness. Bhai, then Satguru says, fir pachotave. Then again and again, he will actually live in regret. That person will live in regret. Pachotave means regret. So, why has Satguru said this? And we all know the truth to this, that there are many different types of Sikhs. There are many that claim to be Sikhs. And there are those that are merely born into a Sikh family, and because they are born into a Sikh family, for them that is enough to refer to themselves as a Sikh. But Guru Sahib Ji's here is using the word so Sikh Sakha. But they're saying, who is a Sakha? Who is that true one? Does just you being born into a Sikh family, does that make you into a true Sikh? If we look at this, if somebody is born, if a child is born into a doctor's house, does that child automatically does that child automatically become a doctor? Of course not. The only way that that child becomes a doctor is if that child goes through the system, that system of education. But Sikhi is different to that. So always remember, there is no perfect example. So they have to go through a worldly education system to become a doctor. But then a doctor actually then the part that is actually more relatable is that when the doctor carries out his or her practice. So Sikh is not somebody that is just born, just like that child can't be called a doctor, just being born in the doctor's house. Even if, and utte riwaj hunda siga, India de vich is more so, they say, aa gaya doctor da putt. Look, aa gaye doctor de bacche. They'll say that, look, here's the children of the doctor. We might get called, yes, look, these are Sikhs, but it's when, are we carrying out that practice? And over here, this isn't to take that away from anyone to stop calling themselves a Sikh, but Guru Sahib is saying that true Sikh. So sometimes we find some of these things offensive, but remember, this is Guru Sahib Ji themselves saying this. Why is Guru Amar Das Ji so passionate about this? Guru Amar Das Ji is passionate about this because they lived all the way up to 62 without actually having a Guru. By this time, Guru Amar Das Ji, they had gone on to pilgrimage of Ganga Ishnan, of bathing in the Ganges, 22 times by this time already. They used to go twice a year, which was a huge thing back then. Remember, not having the amenities of today of travel, and back in those days, and people would actually have that shraddha as well, that have that inside, that have that devotion and faith that they want to walk to these type of places. so that they reap even more, good deeds from it and reap more profit from it. So Guru Amar Das Ji would go twice a year, and they started when they were 50. So they weren't young when they started going on these pilgrimages. But even though after 12 years of continuously going twice a year, but Guru Amar Das Ji they didn't take on a guru. But when that time came, when they were coming back and they stopped off at a Dharmasala wasn't always referred to as a Gurdwara, but a Dharmasala was like a travel-in, but travel-in for travelers that go on these pilgrimages. So there was somebody there that actually, an astrologer, he had his own little travel-in, and this would be his way of serving and serving these travelers, these pilgrimages. So one time when Guru Amar Das Ji was coming back, they stopped off at this astrologer's place in this little travel-in, and when Guru Amar Das Ji was resting, he came towards Guru Amar Das Ji, and he was in awe of what he saw in Guru Amar Das Ji's, in their charan, in their holy feet, and he saw that there was a paddam there. A paddam means a star, and so your skin, it's crunched up in a way and it forms a star. And within astrology, there is a chakkar. Chakkar means it's just like we hear Guru Sahib Ji saying in Jalsa, chakkar chehen. So chehen means a sign, and this is a chakkar. This is a sign of somebody that is gonna be an avatar, or somebody that is a great sage or saint, a messenger of God. So he thought, oh wow. And he said to Guru Amar Das Ji, he said, you're going to be somebody amazing. You are going to become a great king. When he saw this sign, when he saw the chin. And then Guru Amar Das Ji Patsha Ji, at this point they were about 61, 62 years of age. Guru Amar Das Ji Patsha Ji haspe. They laughed, Guru Amar Das Ji Patsha Ji, and upon laughing, mere sache Patsha Ji Guru Amar Das Ji kehn lage, I remember not the Guru yet, they used to be called Baba Amru, and they used to call them Baba Amru. And then Guru Amar Das Ji said to the astrologer, theek hai, koi nahi, jinna tu lena tu le lai, tu aimi kahte tu pump mari janna hai. So what Guru Amar Das Ji said is, tu aimi, tu vada ke gal kari janna hai, bhav tu ustat kari janna hai. Guru Amar Das Ji said, you don't need to pump me in this way, you don't need to praise me in this way. He says, main hun 62 saal da ho gaya ha, hun kidro raja banna hai. I'm 62 now. When do you expect me now to become a king? You're just praising me. What? You want more pitta, you want more offerings for me staying here at your inn. And Guru Amar Das Ji they said, you want more charity and money, wealth. Tu koi nahi, tu udda keh de, tu jinna lena tu lena. You tell me how much you want, you can take it. And then Sangat Ji, astrologer kenda nahi. I'm not saying it for that purpose. I'm so fortunate to have done darshan, even to set eyes on somebody as great as you. And Sangat Ji ithe hun virag vich aa gaya. That emotion, he was filled with emotion inside, and he put his hands together and he said, Baba Ji, meri ek gal jarur yaad rakhiyo. He said, please remember. He goes, you might not become a worldly king. And he said, but you will become the King of Kings. You will become that king that is the King of Kings. Just like when we sing Sajjan Sacha Patsa Sir Shahan De Shah. We say Sajjan Sacha Patsha Sir Shahan De Shah. We're saying you are the King of Kings, O Satguru Ji. He said you will become the King of Kings. And coming into this emotion, this astrologer, he put his head down to Guru Amar Das Ji. Kehna Baba Ji, he goes, Jadon tusi oh raje ban gaye, when you do become that king, he goes, ek gal jarur yaad rakhiyo. He goes, please remember this one thing. He goes, mainu gareeb no palaiyo na. He says, don't forget this little person. He goes, don't forget me. He goes, give me place in these feet when you do become that. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji remained quiet. And over here, Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, they met a brahmachari. A brahmachari is somebody that remains and lives a life of celibacy. He was traveling, he walked with Guru Amar Das Ji and walked back to Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji's pind to Basarke. Jodo ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਬਾਸਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ, when they go back to their village, Guru Amar Das Ji, Baba Amar Das Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਓ ਜੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਚਾਰੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਓ ਜੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਭੋਜਨ ਛਕਾਈਏ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ let me give me this opportunity to feed you. Brahmachari so taken back by Guru Amar Das Ji, Baba Amar Das Ji, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ, you go on to pilgrimage twice a year, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you're so charitable, you're so noble, I've never seen you become angry and frustrated, you've got so many amazing gun. And Baba Amar Das Ji, he's praising Baba Amar Das Ji. Baba Amar Das Ji ne bhojan ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤਾ. Baba Amar Das Ji got the food ready. ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਬੁਰਕੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਈ, and he said, ਵਾਹ, he said, Baba Ji, he goes, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ, he goes, you're so great, he goes, tell me, he goes, all these qualities that you actually possess, he goes, tell me, he goes, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੌਣ ਆ? Who is your guru? If you're so great, how great must your guru be? ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਨੀਵੀਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ, ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ put their head down, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਧਾਰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I've not taken on a guru. ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ the moment the brahmachari heard this, he spat, he took the food out of his mouth and he hit his head, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਫ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਿਸੰਗੇ ਦੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਿਗੁਰੇ ਦੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੰਗ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I've ended up associating with somebody that hasn't taken on a guru. And he said, ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਰਾ, he goes, ਪ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਮੇਰੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਪ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਹੋ ਗਈ. He goes, all my devotion has become ash. He says, because I actually, and it would be quite, in them days it would be quite common when you make this promise and you stick to your promise. And he had made this promise, he had this oath, and he said in that oath that he's never going to eat from the hands of somebody that hasn't taken on a guru. So when you actually swear an oath, it was so sacred back them days that you swearing an oath was, especially in the other yugas, in the other ages, that if once you swear an oath, that is it, you stick by it. And he says, you've ruined everything for me. And he walked out angrily, mathe o sir te apna hath marda, mathe te hath marda, he's walked out. Baba ji ta beh gaye neemi pa ke. Guru Amar Das Ji, Paatshah Ji, they put their head down and they sit there and think, ki ho gaya, what's happened? ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਬਿਰਾਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲ ਗਏ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ. Baba Amar Das Ji went into this birag. Birag is this pull from inside. When you're yearning from inside, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ, I need a guru. And ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, Baba Amar Das Ji ਤਾਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ. And then ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, that they're in that avastha now when Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, in that catch, that yearning from inside, that when they're saying that man bairag paya darshan dekhne ka chao, they said my mind is now filled with this yearning. And even though the word bairag is very important to understand, rag can be translated to love and attachment. Be negates the word meaning bairag, meaning somebody that is detached. Even though that's the literal meaning of the word, but when we look at the avastha of bairag, bairag is more so than the detachment. Bairag is the yearning. Bairag is that yearning. So over here, man bairag paya darshan dekhne ka chao. Chao, the word here is yearning. And why am I translating this in the same way, this bairag? Because in bairag, detachment is something that happens effortlessly. So it is the avastha of detachment. Because now Baba Ji bhul gaya. Now that hunger isn't upon their mind at all. Now hunger isn't there. Sleep, they're not even thinking about sleep anymore. This detachment, they're not thinking about the worldly affairs that they have to carry out. It's not that you become careless. It's not that you don't care to do these things anymore. All it is that your mind isn't entangled in those things anymore. That's what detachment is. Detachment is you're experiencing the love of your children, but your mind isn't entangled and hasn't got any anxiety over them. You have got no worry about them. You now become free. You're in that avastha now. So Satguru Ji, Sache Pacha Ji, over here, Pacha Ji is saying to us that so there's a pankti where Pacha Ji is saying that na tis bhukh na neend na khana sovana. So in that place, they forget about bhukh, they forget about hunger, they forget about sleep, they forget about even eating, forget about sovana, resting, all of these things. Now Baba Amar Das Ji कहने लगे कहते one of our itihas writes now tiji raat ho gaya. It's the third night, but it's that time, it's Amrit Vela. During Amrit Vela, Guru Dhan Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Pacha Ji जिन्हां दा अज प्रकाश दिहाड़ा भी आ. Today is the Prakash Dihada, that day that Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji came upon this earth. It's that day that Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji's daughter Bibi Amro Ji, and she was married into the house of Baba Amar Das Ji to their nephew Baba Jassu Ji. And then Bibi Ji here ਉਸ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਦੁੱਧ ਰਿੜਕਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਬੀਬੀ ਜੀ. ਐਂਡ ਸ਼ੀ ਵਾਸ ਚਰਨਿੰਗ ਮਿਲਕ ਟੂ ਮੇਕ ਬਟਰ, ਘੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ, ਮੱਖਣ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ. To make makhan which is like an unsalted butter, which is pure butter, not the type of butter that we have over here. So it is makhan ਦੁੱਧ ਰਿੜਕਦੇ ਮੱਖਣ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ. She was churning, and then as she was churning, she started to sing Gurbani. She sang certain verses from Asa Kivar, and also then she started singing a shabad of Guru Nanak Dev Ji that her mother Mata Khivi Ji had got her to memorize, because this is the sabah of a mother. A mother, she sits her children down and she gets them to memorize Bani, and this is what mothers used to do. तो उस माँ ने बीबी अमरू जी नो उन्होंने यह शब्द उन्होंने याद करवाए सके. And she's singing this shabad, and as she's singing this shabad, she's singing that Pya Manur Kanchan Fir Hove Je Gur Mile Tneha. She's saying Pya Manur. She's saying even if there's a waste piece of metal, Pya Manur means a waste piece of metal. Guru Amar Das Ji, Baba Amar Das Ji is listening to this very attentively and thinking, Manur, a waste piece of metal. That's exactly how I feel at the moment. I have no Guru. I am that waste piece of metal, Baba Amar Das Ji thought. This is Pya Manur Kanchan Fir Hove. This is, but you again, you can become Kanchan. You can become pure gold. And they said, Baba Amar Das Ji saying, how? And now this, for them, this isn't just some words. They're thinking, how do I become that gold? If you meet such a guru, Baba Amar keda guru jeda menu kanchan bana dewe, that can make me into gold now, that make my life of some use, because my life is absolutely of no use. Sangaji, they've gone to Ganga Ishnan 22 times. They are dani, they are charitable, but they are saying my life has been a waste. Why? Because I've got no guru. What type of guru that do I need? I need that guru ja ek naam amrit oho deve to nanak trishta sadeha. Ek naam, that one, that ek naam amrit oho deva, that gives me that amrit naam, that naam, that mantra that the Guru gives and instills inside of you, that is full of nectar. That is the sweetest thing that you can ever have, that will take you to immortality. Kende Amrit Naam, Kende Ek Naam Amrit Oho Deva, that Guru gives you that Naam, and then what happens to you? To Nanak Trista Sadeha, then your Deha, Deha hai, meaning your senses become still. Tristas means when something becomes absolutely still, Sangat Ji. It means now my eyes don't wander and it doesn't look upon the jism of another. It doesn't look upon the beauty of another. My ears now listen to no slander. My tongue now speaks no lies. And Guru Amar Das Ji they came out. And them days, obviously, if somebody older comes out, and Bibi Amruji, as she was churning that milk, and she is married to Bhai Jassuji, who was Guru Amar Das Ji's nephew. So Baba Jassuji was the brother of Guru Amar Das Ji. And she saw that mere Sora ji aaya, that's like her father-in-law, not direct father-in-law, but the brother of my father-in-law. So they treat them all the same because these families would all live together. They'd have their own little parts in the house, sections in the house. Babaji came out. And when she saw Babaji came out, she took her chunni and she just put her head down a little bit. And she went quiet and stopped singing. And they says, Kende naati hai, tu rokna. They said, don't stop. Kende aaj tak kende andro kende thand pai ya. Kende listening to the Shabad, kende I feel serene, I feel calm, I feel soothed. I was in so much pain for 3 days when I found out that my life is a complete waste, that somebody they felt that their whole bhakti had become, their whole devotion had become ash because they ate from my hands. They said, and today I'm feeling something soothed. Kende tiye meno das. Kende ekede shabd ne. Kende who's this Guru that I can meet? Who's this Shabad bhai? Kahan lage kende Baba Ji, kende Guru Nanak Dev Ji da Shabad hai. This is a Shabad by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Kende acha tiye, kende menu le ja. Kende take me to this Guru Nanak. Kahan lage, and Bibi Amru Ji kende Baba Ji, kende Guru Nanak Dev Ji ta hun kende is sansar to kende sarir karke reh nahi, kende par jot apni kende mere pita ji de vich taka gaye san. She said, now Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Paatshah Ji, they left this world physically, but their jot, but their light, of the Guruship light, they placed in my father, Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Paatshah. Tan Siri Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. Guru Sikh Pyareo, Baba Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁੜਮੀ ਨੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ they are our relative. Kudam is said to be, from one father-in-law to the other. So the two fathers, their relation is called Kudam. So the daughter's father and the son's father, they are both called Kudam. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁੜਮ ਨੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I've been meeting him as a ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੀਏ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਜਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਜਾਊਂਗਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ but today I'm going to go and beg to become his Sikh, and today I'm going to go to him as my Guru. Sangat Ji, even though this wasn't in my mind as this prasang, I've even wrote the title as by Bhikhari Ji, par jiddar Satguru Ji le gaye, whichever direction Satguru Ji's taken us. Bibi Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਧੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਮੁੜਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਆਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ. She said, Baba Ji, she said, Pita Ji told me not to return back quickly because I've been going quite often and they've told me, and so in Darbar Sahib, they said not to come so quickly this time and I'll tell you when to come, I'll send you a message. ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਧੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦੇ ਕਿ I'll take all the wrath for it, I'll take all the blame for it. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਧੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੋ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਤੂੰ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ. They said you tell them that it was me that has brought you here and they won't say anything to you. So she's gone to now her mother-in-law. She said ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਡੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ. And straight away Mata Ji, her mother-in-law, ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਧੀਏ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ ਨੇ. They're the eldest out of all the family, out of all the brothers. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੀਏ of course take Baba Ji. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਤਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ, look how much the whole village respects them. during this period, this was the same day, this was the same time, only a few days before, Guru Ram Das Ji, still as a child, as a young child, whose Nanke were from the same village as Guru Amar Das Ji from Basarke, they had entered and come into Basarke as well. Just a few days before, Baba Amar Das Ji went and told Guru Amar Das Ji, who was called Jetha, Jetha means the eldest, this is Jethia, you've lost your parents and teri nani hun ithe leke aayi a, tu haunsla rakhna hai, always remember that we are here for you. You are never to feel alone, you are never to feel an orphan. ਤਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੋਈ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ. If you ever feel the need of anything, you never to feel that you have got no parents. ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਂ. We are here for you. And it's only a few days later now, ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਬੀਬੀ ਅਮਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਲਈ ਆ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਕੋਲ. I've got now permission from my mother-in-law. ਤੁਰ ਪਏ ਨੇ. They're on their way to Khadur Sahib. ਪਰ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣ ਗਏ, ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਗਏ ਨੇ. ਦੇਖੋ 62 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਹੈ, ਦੇ 62 years of age. 25 ਸਾਲ ਉਮਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ. They're 25 years older than Guru Angad Dev Ji. And ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, and it's not easy to let go of even that arrogance that I'm older and we are the boys' side. But to go at that age, be so well respected, and they've gone out and they said, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੀਏ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਊਂਗਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I'm not going to go inside yet because why? I don't feel worthy yet of their darshan. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਕਿ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰੂ ਆਇਆ ਆ and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੇ if they give me permission to come then I'll come in. ਦੇਖੋ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਸਿੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਕੀ? ਸਿੱਖੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਆ. ਸਿੱਖੀ is humility. ਸਿੱਖੀ is that to become that speckle of dust. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ if they give me permission then I'll come inside to see them. ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਬਹਿ ਗਏ ਨੇ, ਬੀਬੀ ਜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਗਏ ਨੇ. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੀਏ ਸੋਖਿਆ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ daughter of mine, is everything okay? ਤੂੰ ਫੇਰ ਇੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਮੁੜ ਆਈ. You've come back so soon. Saying that ਸਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ? What will your in-law say? That you're always here at your parents' house. ਪੇਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਤੁਰੀ ਰਹਿਨੀ ਆ. You're always here at your parents' house. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ everything okay? ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦੇਣਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਿਆ. that I wasn't able to stick to your order that you said to me that only when you send a message. But ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਨੇ. ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਗਏ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ, what don't they know? ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਉੱਠੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਤਖਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ. they get up from the throne. ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਧੀਏ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਨੇ, ਅੰਦਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਗਿਆ ਬਖਸ਼ੋਗੇ, when you give permission for you, ਅੰਦਰ ਆਉਣਗੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ? you've left them outside. ਤਾਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਏ ਨੇ. they come outside to come and receive them themselves, just like Bhai Gurdas ji say to us. they say to us in the kibitz, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਰਨ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਗੁਰ ਏਕ ਪੈਂਡਾ ਜਾਏ ਚੱਲ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਰਨ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਗੁਰ ਏਕ ਪੈਂਡਾ ਜਾਏ ਚੱਲ. you take that one step towards you Guru. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਰਨ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਗੁਰ ਏਕ ਪੈਂਡਾ ਜਾਏ ਚੱਲ. ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੋਟ ਪੈਂਡਾ ਆਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਲੇਤ ਹੈ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what will the Satguru do? What will that true Guru do for you? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੋਟ ਪੈਂਡਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ they'll take millions of steps. ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੋਟ ਪੈਂਡਾ ਆਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਲੇਤ ਹੈ. they'll come and receive you. they'll take millions of steps to come and receive you. And in that same way, ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, it's the ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਦਿਹਾੜਾ of ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ. ਜਦੋਂ ਭਾਈ ਲਹਿਣਾ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਨ, when they're in the roop of ਭਾਈ ਲਹਿਣਾ ਜੀ as a Sikh, when they traveled to Kartarpur Sahib to do darshan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah, and at one point, the moment that Bhai Lehna Ji, they were on their horse, and when they lost their way, when they got closer to Kartarpur Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji aap apne takhtan to ut karke Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji got up from their throne, and they felt and they knew from inside कि भाई लैणा जी एक सिख बन के आ रहा है, that he's coming today, and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ he's not going to just remain a mere Sikh, he's going to be sitting on this Guru's throne one day. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji aap gaye ne, then they went themselves, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they travelled out, and they came across, they didn't dress as a Guru, they dressed as just a mere traveller. ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਲਹਿਣਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਦੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਅੱਗੇ, they hadn't seen Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji before, so they didn't recognize them, and they dressed not as a guru with these beautiful robes, they were wearing normal householders clothes. ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ tell us that as well, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੰਜੀ ਬੈਠ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਕੀਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਹਿਰ ਸੰਸਾਰੀ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਮੰਜੀ ਬੈਠ, they were wearing normal householders clothes, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਹਿਰ ਸੰਸਾਰੀ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਮੰਜੀ ਬੈਠ ਕੀਆ ਅਵਤਾਰਾ. And then as Guru Nanak Dev Ji reached, they are on foot, the Guru is on foot. Bhai Lehna Ji, who's come to take on a Guru today, they are on a horse, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji kende purkha, they said, oh being, they said, you look lost, kende gwachiya jiha lagda hai, you look a little lost, kende haan, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਧਰਮਸ਼ਾਲਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ. they didn't say we want to do darshan, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I want to go to the ਧਰਮਸ਼ਾਲਾ of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੈ ਜੰਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ. they said I'll take you. they grabbed hold of the reins of the horse, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਪੈਦਲ ਨੇ, they are walking, and Guru Angad Dev Ji, to be Guru Angad Dev Ji, Bhai Lehna Ji is on the horse, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji shows them the way. And when Bhai Lehna Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji, they go and get changed, go and freshen up, they helped, they tied Bhai Lehna Ji's horse, they freshen up, they go and sit in the Dharamsala, they go and sit on the Gurgaddi, on the throne. Bhai Lehna Ji comes and freshens up from outside, comes inside to do darshan, and he's got his head down, because ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਈਦਾ ਆ, ਗੁਰੂ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਈਦਾ ਨੀਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਕੇ. we don't go to Guru with arrogance, we don't go to the Guru with our chest out. ਗੁਰੂ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਆ, ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਖਾ ਬੰਦਪ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ ਜੋ ਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੇ. how do you become that true Sikh? that ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਖਾ is the word that Guru Amar Das Ji have used. ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੰਜ ਬਣੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਧਾਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ, and because Bhai Lehna Ji is going with that ਨਿਮਰਤਾ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ. and they put their head down, ਮਿੱਠਤ ਨੀਵੀ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਗੁਣ ਚੰਗਿਆਈਆਂ ਤਤ. the essence of Sikhi is Sangat Ji, is humility. that is the sweetest thing anybody could ever possess in their life. they've gone today with their head down. Bhai Lehna Ji ਨੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਿਆ. Bhai Lehna Ji ਜਦੋਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਰ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕਿਆ. when they put their head up, ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਪ ਕਰ ਬੈਠਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what sin have I done, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੋ, you are the Guru yourself, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਤਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you was on foot and I was on a horse. Guru Nanak Dev Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੁਰਖਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਦੱਸ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, tell me your name. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਲਹਿਣਾ means to take. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਠੀਕ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹ ਘੋੜਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ. just like a groom comes to get his bride, he comes on that horse. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਘੋੜਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ, and that one that is going to give, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ they be in humility on their feet. ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਬਚਨ ਆਖ ਕੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਕਰ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you don't worry, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ nothing has happened, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ ਠੀਕ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਲੈਣ ਆਇਆ ਆ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ. little did Bhai Lehna Ji know what Guru Nanak Dev Ji meant at that moment, that they are there to actually give them the Gurgaddi, to actually give them that place where they are sitting. ਅੱਜ that same now Bhai Lehna Ji, they became Guru Angad Dev Ji. Guru Angad Dev Ji now is coming out to see now that Sikh that is going to become Guru Angad Dev Ji. Jot uha jugat sai sehkaya ਫੇਰ ਪਲਟੀਏ ਜੋਤ ਓਹਾ, that jot, that light remains the same. Jot oha jugat sai, but the jugti remains the same. The rahat, the discipline remains the same as well. The way of life remains the same as well. Kende jot oha jugat sai se kaya, but all that happens is seh means the king, se kaya means the body. Fir palatiye, all that they're doing is they're just changing over the body, but the jot remains the same. But now who's going to receive the jot? Little do they know they're going to be receiving the jot. Baba Amar Das Ji, now they're coming. Guru Angad Dev Ji, they left their throne. They've come outside. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋੜਮੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ, you are our relative, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ, you're from the boy side. Even though they don't actually entangle and believe in all of these things, but haske, they're saying this laughingly. Guru Angad Dev Ji bahar aaye ne, kehde baba ji aao, kehde aake mere gale naal lago, kehde come and embrace me. ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, they put their arms out for Baba Amar Das Ji to come and embrace them, ਤਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰ ਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈ ਗਏ ਨੇ. But they go and lie in the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji. ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ. Their arms remain empty. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਆਹ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ? What's this that you've done, Baba Ji? Why are you lying in my feet? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ, you're a lot older. ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜੇ, ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ, today when they did darshan Baba Amar Das Ji Sache Paatshah Ji of Satguru Ji of Dhan Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ it's like that. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਹੋ ਟਲ ਗੁਰ ਸੇਵੀਏ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਰਸੀਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੇ ਜਨਮ ਮਰਨ ਦੁੱਖ ਜਾਏ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ when you actually touch the feet of your guru, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਰਸੀਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੇ ਜਨਮ ਮਰਨ ਦੁੱਖ ਜਾਏ. ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ over here ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅੱਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ. I've come today as your Sikh. This is Sikhi, that humility. ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਆਪ, they stand, ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ take them to their feet. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੱਫੀ ਪਾਈ, they hugged them. ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ inside as they're doing darshan, the words that are being formed inside of the hirda, Baba Amar Das Ji gave him the form of Gurbani in years to come. That moment, what they experienced then, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ. They say that Baba Amar Das Ji remembered their mother, because they said, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਮਾਂ, if you was here today alive for me to tell you that I've achieved the biggest thing in my life. And what is that? You know, when a child does something so amazing, ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਚਾਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੱਸਾਂ. That child has that inside excitement. I want to go and tell my mother. ਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ, ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, was being born. They said, ਆਨੰਦ ਭਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ. Said, oh my mother, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਨੰਦ ਆ ਗਿਆ. Today I'm in bliss. ਆਨੰਦ ਭਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ, because I've got a true guru today. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਿਲ ਪਿਆ. ਆਨੰਦ ਭਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰਤਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੇਤੀ ਮਨ ਵੱਜੀਆਂ ਵਾਧਾਈਆਂ. Today ਕਹਿੰਦੇ this ਵਾਜੇ ਵੱਜਦੇ ਆ. Today there's like this music being played inside of me of true happiness meeting this guru. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, so Sikh Sakha bandap hai bhai. So for Guru Amar Das Ji to say that, who is a true Sikh, Guru Amar Das Ji, if anyone, Guru Amar Das Ji's got that authority to say that to us, to say, think about it. What type of Sikh are you? Are you one that is just merely born into a family of Sikhs and you now call yourself a Sikh, but your ways are nothing of a Sikh? Are you somebody that half-heartedly you just do a little bit of what the Guru says, but the rest you do what your mind tells you to do? Kende nahi, that one that submits completely. Baba Amar Das Ji's Jeevan was what? Who has said this, what it means to be a Sakha, a true Sikh? At the age of 62, You know the biggest test that Guru Amar Das Ji had from Guru Angad Dev Ji? Being so much older and being a relative, they gave him all that pyar in that moment, but that attention that they gave them stopped within days. Guru Angad Dev Ji didn't speak to Baba Amar Das Ji properly for years after that. That was the biggest test. And Baba Amar Das Ji at that age did the most seva out of anyone else. They did Gagardi seva for 12 years, carrying water from a river that was quite far, from flowing river that was quite far. Baba Amar Das Ji would go and get water from there, and they'd take such a direction that their back doesn't face Guru Angad Dev Ji. At that age, when they're getting to their late 60s, 70, Baba Amar Das Ji, it wasn't until 74 they became the Guru. Doing all that seva, they would go and get all the wood for the langar. They would get the lakkar, they'd go out and get the wood themselves from the nearby jungles. They'd get the wood and then they'd do the balna as well, get the fire going. They would make the langar as well, they'd take part in making the langar as well. And then they'd sit in the nitnem as well, they'd sit in the kirtan as well. And then Baba Amar Das Ji, when everybody else, all the other sect that were visiting, they stayed up to press the feet and legs of the other Gursikhs. And then before Guru Angad Dev Ji, Pachaji, they would arise, they would wake in the morning for Ishnan about 3 a.m. in the morning, but Baba Amar Das Ji would wake at 1:30 and go out to get the water first, to get everything prepared, and then warm some of that, and if it was really cold, then warm some of that water up as well to make it the right temperature for Guru Angad Dev Ji to do Ishnan. But during all this seva, the biggest test that they had was Guru Angad Dev Ji didn't even speak to them properly. Once a year, they would give them tie a sire pao on them. A sire pao is similar to this. This is called a hajuriya. A sire pao is a blessing, an honor that was given to someone. And Guru Angad Dev Ji would tie on Baba Amar Das Ji cease themselves. And sir pao means sir to leke pair tak jine seva kiti hove. Even though they gave them this honor, but they didn't speak to them properly, was their biggest test. All their relatives would say, what are you doing here? You had such great businesses, everyone respected you, and over here now, you're here amongst this guru that doesn't even speak to you properly. Day and night you're working and you're not even respected here. What's the point? Sangaji, that's Sikhi. Guru Amar Das Ji can ask that question to us. Are you a true Sikh? Do you follow what the Guru says? If you do, then you're my brother. If you do, then you are my true relatives. You are my Sakha. You are that true friend to me. So let's do Akhri Arth of the rest of the Shabad. And I'm sure the Sakhi will speak for itself of what it means to be a true Sikh. When Guru Angad Dev Ji said, stand there, Baba Amar Das Ji stood there. They had so much respect that one day when they were walking together to go to some Sangat's house, Baba Amar Das Ji's one arm went ahead of Guru Angad Dev Ji. And this is what Sikhi is. Sikhi isn't this dry mechanical path of just accumulating knowledge, Sangat Ji. Sikhi ta enno kende ya. Baba Amar Das Ji da ek hath lang gaya Guru Angad Dev Ji Pachaji de agge, ta jado sangat ne dekhya कि किन्ने दिन लंघ गए ने कि 3-4 दिन लंघ गए ने बाबा जी ने जेड़ा हाथ अगे लंघिया सी बाबा जी ने हुण 3 दिन हो गए वो वरतिया ही नहीं हाथ. They hadn't used that hand. It had been 3 days. The sangat saw they're doing all the seva with one hand. तो किसी ने पूछया कहंदे गुरु अंगद देव जी अपना एक हाथ नहीं वरतदे. उन्होंने बुला लिया गुरु अंगद देव जी कहंदे की गल होई बाबा जी कहंदे अपना हाथ नहीं वरतदे. कहंदे बाबा जी मैं तो जे चाहां मैं तो चुन के हाथ में वढ़ के रख देवां. Baba Amar Das Ji said, they said, Guru Angad Dev Ji said, it's been days. The Sangat saying, you're not using that hand. Baba Ji said, never mind using that hand. Can if I had my way, I'd chop this hand off. I'd chop this whole arm off. Can ki ho gaya, Baba Ji? Can gal ki hui? Can what happened? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ this arm went ahead of you, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਚਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. It went ahead of you, meaning that I wasn't walking alongside of you. I wasn't walking in your will. A Sikh remains in the feet. A Sikh remains behind the Guru. A Sikh isn't meant to be ahead of the Guru, meaning doing his own thing. Guru Angad Dev Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵਾਹ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵਾਹ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵਾਹ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ, so much devotion. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਰ ਇੰਨਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੱਠ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਠਨ ਤਪੱਸਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you're not to put yourself through so much, through this stubborn mindedness of saying that you're not going to even use that hand, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ but your intention behind it, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਧੰਨ ਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਆ. I accept that. That is Sikhi. That meant that Guru Amar Das Ji told the world that a Sikh is that will never walk out of sync of what his Guru says. So Sikh ne ki karna? Sikh ne naam japana. Sikh ne jhoot nahi bolna. Sikh ne case nahi katne. This is walking in the Guru's will. Sikh is that doesn't cut their case. A Sikh is that meditates on God's name given to them by the Guru. That's how we take on a Guru. We're going to receive the name from the Guru first. So we did Arth up to 3 Pangatiyan. Pacha ji here is saying to us that bin Sadguru Sikh sukh kade na paave bhai fir pachotave, that they will never find true happiness without a Guru. They will always regret and think, why didn't I follow the Guru's words? Because now I realized that that's what I needed in my life. Har ke das suhele bhai, can they only by becoming the servant of Waheguru Ji that will experience suhele, will experience true happiness. Janam janam ke kilbik dukh kaate, that all the kilbik, all the sins that I accumulated from many lifetimes, janam janam, they have been all cut away for me. That was causing me the suffering was my own karma. It was all my own doing what I had done. Ape mel malai. Waheguru Ji now themselves has united me with them only because I followed the Guru. Rahao Misram Lake Pach says, contemplate on these words. Eho Kutam, this says, this family, Eho Kutam Sab Ji ke Bandan. They said, this family of yours, they said, that is just your bondage. You get entangled in that, thinking this is it, this is life. Yes, you care for them, yes, you love them unconditionally, but getting caught up in them and not actually walking the path of truth because you're so caught up in your family and so attached to them. Kende Param Pulla Sansara, the world is lost in this attachment, entanglement to their family, not realizing the essence of life. Bin Gur Bandan Tute Nahi, this says, but this bandhan, this bondage is not going to break without taking on a Guru. Just because we're born in a Sikh whole house doesn't mean that we've taken on a Guru yet. Just because we go to the Gurdwara once a month and don't stop going, Sangat Ji, don't take this negative, keep going, go more. But it doesn't mean we've become a Sikh yet. That true Sikh yet. And that's me as well. I'm nowhere near that true Sikh that Guru Amar Das Ji is talking about. Gurmukh Mokh Dwara, that one that follows the Guru, they get the door, the gate of liberation. Mokh means liberation. They become free from the entanglements of attachment to their family. Karma karehe gur shabd na pachane. This says, but you can carry out as many religious rituals as you want, but gur shabd, but you didn't recognize the Guru's teachings, you didn't take on the Guru's teachings, mar janam hai varo vara, you will continue in the cycle of birth and death. Ho mera, because those that are stuck in ho, that in I am, it's all about me, I, in that self-centeredness and just doing only what I want and just being caught up in me. Ho mera, in this is mine, in possessiveness. Oh mera jag palch reha, Pach Ji saying that the world is being ruined in this. Palch means entangled and ruined in this. Bhai koi na kisi hi kera. They said nobody is anyone's. You have to then reap whatever you have done, nobody can do anything for you. Gurmukh mahal payan gun gavan. But when we sing the praises of God, then those Gurmukhs, they actually then reach the mahal. They reach that place of where God's existence is. Nij kar hoye basera, where we then rest within. Where is God? Where do we find God? Inside our own house, inside of us. Aithe bujje so aap pachane. This life, this life has been given to us for what? For bujje, for realizing our true self, that we are part of Paramatma. Aithe bujje so aap pachane. Kende that to recognize the true self, bujje, we've come here for that understanding. Har prabh hai tis kera. Har prabh hai kis kera. There is nothing but Waheguru Ji. We are here to realize this. Satguru sada diyal hai bhai. Waheguru Ji is forever compassionate, forever kind. Doesn't matter what we've done in our life, Waheguru Ji is always ready to embrace us. The Guru is always ready to embrace us. But without great fortune, what can we attain? What can we get? That means let's start doing those good deeds so that we can actually have that attainment of the Guru. Ek nadar kar dekhe sab upar. The saying that the Guru looks upon all equally, but we receive all differently. Why? Because Jeha Pao, it depends what faith, what devotion we have within our mind. Baba Amar Das Ji went with full devotion to the Guru. As a sect, they lied in the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji. They didn't go with any homage. They didn't go with any I am. They didn't go with I am this, I am that. No, this is the path of humility. The saying that Jeha Pao Teha Fal Paiye, we will receive those fruits of what we have within our mind. Just like Bhai Lehna Ji, they said to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Padshah Ji, they had a coin in their hand. They showed everyone that I've got a coin in my hand. They clasped their fist together and they put the coin in that fist. They said to their sons, they said to the Sikhs, they said, what have I got in my hand? Everybody said, they said, Baba Shri Chand Ji said, the son said, this is Guru Sahib Ji, you've got a coin in your hand. He just showed us. Baba Lakshmi Das, mere haath vich kiya, what's in my hand? He said, you've got some money, it's wealth in your hand. Kende lehne aa, kende mere haath vich kiya. Kende Nanak de haath, kende what's in my hand Lehna? Bhai Lehna Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what can I tell you? I remember telling this Sakhi when I told it in the first time in Jagraj Singh Ji's presence. It's online, you can watch it, introducing Bhai Baljit Singh. Jagraj Singh Ji was in tears. He embraced this Sakhi and he would tell it. The first time he heard it, Bhai Lehna Ji कहने कहते मैं लैना की दसा ताडे नानक के नानक Guru Nanak de haath vich ki. What can this little mere ant tell you? What's in your hands, O Guru? Kende the whole world is in your hands. Kende everything, the whole creation is in your hands. The Janam and Maran is in your hands. Birth and death is in your hands. Everything is in your hands, and even that, what I can't even speak of and beyond, is in your hands, Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak Dev Ji kende Sulkhani, do you see? They said to their wife, do you see the difference? And what Bhai Lehna's got in his heart? Jeha Pao Teha Fal Paiye, will get those fruits, the Sharda, the devotion that we've got in our heart towards our Guru. Nanak Naam Vase Man Antar. Those that have the name given to them by the Guru of Waheguru residing in their heart, Vicho Aap Gavaiye. Only those can have the name of God inside of them. Those that lose themselves. Just like Guru Angad Dev Ji said, the first slok that they recited was Jis pyare syo nehu tis aage mar chaliye. Trig jeevan sansar take pache jeevana. This is Jis pyare syo nehu tis aage mar chaliye. This is for that beloved that you have love for. This aage, before that one mar chaliye. I want to die before them. Meaning I kill my ego. There's no such thing as me anymore. before them, and even if need be, I'll sacrifice, I'll give my life for them. Trig Jeevan Sansar, when Guru Angad Dev Ji was in Bairag, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji physically left, they said Trig Jeevan Sansar, they said Take Pache Jeevana, living a life after you leaving this world. They said that life is cursed. That's what we call Sakhi. That's what we call Nimrata. That's what we call So Sikh Sakha Mandap hai Bhai Je Guru ke Paani vich aave. So please forgive me for my mistakes. Now let's do Samadhi and sing those words of Guru Angad Dev Ji. Jis pyare syo ne ho, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो, तिस आगे मर चलिए, तिस आगे मर चलिए, तिस आगे मर चलिए, तिस आगे मर चलिए, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो, जिस प्यारे स्यो ने हो,